Former Kano State Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso was yesterday named the national leader of the new Nigeria People's Party. Kwankwaso was adopted at the party's convention in Abuja a day after he announced his exit from the People's Democratic Party. Now, here to talk about the reasons for this defection and other issues concerning the 2023 elections, we're happy to have the man himself, former Kano State Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Governor Kwankwaso, thanks for your time and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
You've been a mainstay of the People's Democratic Party, not just in Kano State but in the country. What informed your decision to leave the party for another party?
Thank you very much. As we all know, that PDP ab initio was formed to ensure that the military was kicked out in 1998. And we were part of that formation. In 1999, immediately after the formation, I became the governor, elected governor of Kano State under that platform. And of course, in 2003, I became the Minister of Defense. I was in the NDDC representing Northwest, all under the platform of PDP. But you see, as time went on, we realized that there were people in terms of ideology that we would find very difficult to work together with. While we are on one way working hard to ensure peace and stability of the democracy itself, when we are working very hard on the issue of economy, when we are working very hard in terms of education, agriculture, and other sectors, many of them did not understand. Many of them were struggling by all means to put their own sons and daughters and their relationships in positions, even when those people were not competent to be there. So we, of course, had some issues and issues of ideology which we find very difficult to reconcile. And we had to take the opportunity of the formation of APC in 2014. And we joined the APC believing that people of like minds, in fact, we are calling ourselves progressives at that particular time. But immediately after election, differences started occurring. And we felt that was not the best place. And came back to PDP again, believing that being in government and, of course, in opposition, the party would have learned its own lesson in the country. But unfortunately, we realized that they were even worse than we left them. And that was why my humble self and many other leaders decided to come together to form a real progressive party that will be, by the grace of God, capable not only to win election, but capable enough to run very effective government, I believe, to the satisfaction of the vast majority of this country. A party that is not leaning towards any region or religion or ethnicity. Government that will come and give every Nigerian equal opportunity to realize his or her own potential. And that was based really on what we have seen in the past in this country. That is based on what we read. That was based on what we have seen outside the country. And that is why in the last months, in fact, let me say about a year, when we had issues with PDP in the Northwest zone, we decided to come together to form what is really going to be of great use, not only to politicians who will have an opportunity to have platform to contest elections, but also for Nigerians who are sick and tired of voting either APC or PDP. And you could see very clearly, especially in the last election, in fact, the graph of number of people versus the registered voters was always falling. People are not interested in the parties. And of course, the parties are a reflection of the individuals who are contesting the elections in the political parties. And that was why we thought we should provide this opportunity for everybody in this country.
Okay.
And I'm happy. Yes.
So, Senator Kwankwaso, I listened to Buba Galadima, on television some time ago, talk about the process that led to you and your group, the National Movement. I believe he mentioned that group moving to the NNPP. But he said something. He said that you had to go through about 5 political parties to see which one to pick. Some would say that this is not about, any ideal, any ideology. This would be probably about looking for a platform to advance your democratic or your political aspirations. What do you say to that?
Now, you see, that process of selection was very necessary. It was not based on who, or I mean, the personalities alone. We are also looking at the party, constitution, and so on, that is similar to what we believe in. There was no way we could leave these two parties just to go into any political parties that looks like the PDP or APC. So we want something new. And when we get this party, the New Nigeria People's Party, we were very happy with the name in the first place. Everybody wants New Nigeria. Nobody wants to continue with this rusted system that is not working for anybody except those who are in government and their cronies and people around them. And when you go to the New Nigeria People's Party, we're happy with the New Nigeria and we're happy with New Nigeria People's Party. And you see, we are not only looking for party with the majority of people. We were looking for party that has a potential of receiving people who are of like minds. And we are very careful initially in selecting those who are going to work together with us because we don't want to go from frying pan to fire by bringing faces that are no more relevant to Nigerian voters. And we are very careful and very selective because we are not in a hurry. We want to get a party that is good for the young men and women of this country, the party that will come head on to tackle all the issues, the challenges that we have today, and those that are likely to come in the future. And that's why we selected this party.
Okay.
And above all, I mean, in addition to that, we had the gentleman who registered the party right from the beginning, about 21 years ago. A gentleman, when he saw us, he was so happy. He believed that God has answered his prayer. And he handed over the party for us to manage on behalf of him and Nigerians generally, so that Nigeria can be a better place for everybody.
So, distinguished Senator Kwankwaso, now this is what brings to the next point. Of course, you're saying that the founder of the party handed the party over to you to manage. I mean, you've emerged as the national leader of the party. Your ally has emerged as the chairman of the party. Out of the 39 elected positions or members of the National Executive Party, a committee of the party, your group has, your loyalists have clinched the top position. So in other words, you've taken over the structure of the party. Some would argue that it will be hard for you to convince the average person, the average Nigerian out there, that this is not just a vehicle for you and your group to achieve the political aspirations. So you just went party shopping,
Yes,
just so you can find a platform to push your political aspirations.
Yes, you see, each and every politician is in politics to succeed in winning election. Because no matter the good intention, no matter the capacity, if you don't win an election, it's as good as not having the the ideology or the capacity at all. So the issue is that people need to win election. Every politician would want win election. That is common to all of us. The only difference is that when you win that election, what do you do next? We have seen people get in power for whatever reason. At the end of the day, it becomes a big liability to them in the long term and big liability to the country or to the constituency that they contested the election. So yes, every politician wants to win an election, no matter how good the intention or bad intention. So the difference is when we win the election, we have good intention, we have the capacity, and even the formation of the party itself shows clearly that this group, this party, consists of people of very high integrity, people with a lot of capacity, people who have the capacity to register members in millions, to do their ward, local government, state, zonal, and congress within a span of just 1 month. We have done that. We have done that very successfully. Today, you go around the country, there is no single word that we don't have the leadership on the ground. And in addition to that, we have people who are now vying for all these positions. Of course, we are so happy with that. And as you rightly pointed out, we want win an election because it is only one win an election that we can prove to Nigerians that we are the very people who have worked in various places and succeeded. Like myself, who has been Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps, we performed creatively well. I was an elected delegate to the Constitutional Conference in 1994-95, and I was governor twice in Kano, and Minister of Defense, and so on and so forth. So you see, I was in all those places proving myself because either I won election or somebody appointed me to be there. And that is the sort of thing that is on the ground now, and that is what is convincing all Nigerians, not minding the region or the zone or the religion or the ethnicity, to support the NNPP as a political party. And I can assure you, people will say we are third force. Just give us time. We will continue to work in the next 3 months or so. Maybe when we have an opportunity, I will ask you to assess whether we are still number 3. I believe that many things will happen in this year from now to 2013.
Okay, 23. You mean, Senator Kwankwaso? So what's the? So we can call this the new Nigeria People's Party. What's the vision and the ideology of this party now that you and your team have taken over the structure of this party? You've emerged as a national leader. What's the ideology of this party? What is it selling to Nigerians? What vision is it selling to Nigerians?
Now, first of all, I'm happy to say that the party is very much concerned about the security in this country. Security is key. In fact, in the past, we were taking security for granted because we believe that every responsible government, not only in Nigeria, but across the country, will ensure the security of lives and properties. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in this country that the government in power cannot really say that they have done that. We have seen what happened just recently from here to Kaduna, where the train was attacked. So many people were killed. Some were being injured. Many people were being taken into the bush. As we are speaking now, they are there with the bandits. Only God knows what is happening to them. We have seen young men and women, especially the young doctor that we have seen being killed, and we have seen the dead body and so on. It's very unfortunate. And we are not after the statistics of who was killed, who was not killed. What we are interested in is for the government to go and fish out those bandits and terrorists that are killing innocent Nigerians, people who know nothing about what is happening, people who have worked all their lives, and people who are young, who are preparing or planning to have good life, to have children and so on, just to have their lives being truncated on the road. So what we want here and see is that government is pursuing those terrorists, and they must be apprehended, and they must be. We must ensure that they are being taken to the court of law in Nigeria and be punished accordingly.
Okay, all right. And apart from security situation of the country, Nigerians are also concerned about the economy. It's been an issue, especially this year with rising prices, increasing inflation, of course, the fuel crisis, the situation with Nigeria's oil and gas industry. What is the vision of the new Nigeria People's Party for the Nigerian economy?
Yes, I just mentioned the issue of security, which were taken for granted in the past. These were the issues, and they are still the issues. In addition to security, the economy is key. We have the issue of education. Education is key to us. We have looked around and see what other leaders did in this country and outside the country, especially in education. We have gone through what Chief Obafemi Awolowo has done in the Southwest. We have improved that. We have done so much in Kano, where we sponsored thousands and thousands of students all over the world. We sent them to 14 countries across the world. They all came back with masters and PhDs. They are working now across the country. We built hundreds of secondary schools. In fact, during our time in Kano, each and every child of school age had an opportunity to go to school. And anybody who finished his secondary school successfully, primary school successfully, had an opportunity to go to secondary school because we built hundreds of them in Kano State. And anybody who had qualification to go to university in Kano had that opportunity. In my second year of second term, we were looking for people to go to universities. We mopped up everybody, either they were abroad or in this country, in our state. We established two universities, one in 2001, that's Kano University of Science and Technology, and second one, Northwest University in 2012. And we established many other institutes. In fact, we established 26 institutes in Kano within a span of 4 years. And even those who came back, we tagged them in 500 batches, 500 number people batch. We have 501. They left in 2012. 502, 503, 503. And we are at 506 when I left the government in 2015. So you can see that education is key, because without education,
yes. Well, Senator, sorry to interrupt you, Senator, but you've talked about security, you've talked about education, but we have pressing economic issues in the country today. The price
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
Yes. After security, we mentioned education, and of course the issue of economy. And this issue of economy has to do with a lot of things, including the security, including the education, it's good quality education itself, and so on and so forth. That's what I was heading to. So economy, including, of course, what the job creation, and so on and so forth, the value of Naira. Look, I have been to craft school, technical school, polytechnics in this country and in Europe. I have been to the universities in Europe and, of course, in Asia. I have gone through all these things. I believe that over the years that we don't have to go into all these importations that we are making. Almost everything is being imported. We have to stop that. We have to provide electricity, reliable, affordable electricity, other infrastructure like road, like rail line and improve our airports or air transport, and so on and so forth. And these are the things that we can afford. Look, in Kano, in 4 or 8 years, we have worked so hard. There is enough resources in this country. In 1999, I met piles of debt in Kano. In 4 years, I was settled. I was able to settle the debt and worked as a governor using only our internal revenue and, of course, whatever we got from the federal government. So also in 2011 and 2015, I met huge debt, hundreds of billions of dollars. I settled them. I used our own money. And when I was leaving Kano, I left Kano with zero debt, either local or international. So the money is there. The only thing is governments at federal level, state level, must keep their eyes on wastages. Once you allow wastages in government, no matter how you get, how much money you get, they'll only go into the trades. And you start going out to China, Asia, many other places, Europe, borrowing money, throwing it to the state assembly or national assembly, and at the end of the day, you have nothing to show, and there is no money, and you are leaving that to our children and grandchildren,
Okay.
and that is what NNPP
All right.
will ensure that
Okay.
is addressed.
All right. Senator, you talked about the importance of security, addressing the security situation in the country. And you said the NNPP has a very grand plan or vision for a secure Nigeria. But you were Minister of Defense in the Fourth Republic from 2003 to 2007. Some would argue that we had issues of insecurity in the country, and that if you could not surmount those challenges at that time, how can you lead a party to come solve the security situation in the country? For instance, Boko Haram started in 2002. You were minister in 2003 to 2007. Were you able to nip that in the bud before you left? And other examples I can give, but let's leave it at that for now. So what do you have to say to that?
You see, there are security issues in Nigeria right from its inception. There are security issues all over the world. But you see, during our time, and of course, before this time, there was no way anybody could stand on the way of the security, especially in Nigeria at that particular time. I am sure that during our time, and even when I was Kano as governor, no bandit, no terrorist will go and show his or her face and get away with it. And that's what we are talking about. Now, yes, Boko Haram, in fact, even Maitasine during the Shagari days, we had many cases of insecurity in this country. But it's just a matter of time it will be crushed. But what we are seeing now is that unfortunate situation where people are coming out to dare the government itself with the Nigerian military and Nigerian security agencies with no apology. And I think that has to be stopped. Now, for example, everybody is afraid to go to Kaduna, either by rail, which is not available today because of the attack, or by road, which is the worst, even a day after, and so on. They kept on coming out to pick people on the road, or even at this airport.
Okay.
They went to the airport and tagged the airport. So these are the issues we are talking about.
Okay,
but
distinguished senator, before we go, because we're out of time, I just have two very quick questions for you. Number one, what are the prospects? How far can the NNPP go in the 2023 elections? Are you targeting probably maybe state governorship, or you think you can go all the way in the national elections up to the presidency?
Now, you see, in 1 month, NNPP was able to put all the structures from wards to the national level across the country. We have people, I believe, contesting in all the constituencies in this country. And I believe in the next 3 months, people will really come to understand the strength of what we have started.
Okay.
People in this country are sick and tired of these two parties. People were waiting. People were looking forward.
So you're saying your party will go all the way, even up to the national elections. You see NNPP making a big impact there.
You see, in 2003, 2023, by the grace of God, there will be no position starting from State Assembly, House of Reps, Senate, and of course, Governor and even the President. They will all be filled because the people...
Senator, we have to leave it at that, I'm afraid. We definitely would love to have you back to talk some more about the fortunes of the NNPP, and we're grateful for your time, distinguished Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for staying with us. We'll leave you now with a roundup of this week on Plus Politics. My name is Kofi Batels. Thanks for watching.
The emergence of a man like Abdullahi Adamu, and in the person of Abdullahi Adamu, is the best thing that happened to our party. Don't forget, we are trying to have a meeting point between the old and the young. You are speaking to a young man who is described as one of the youngest state chairmen today in the country. My emergence was not also without any rancor and disagreement and disapproval of so many persons. Oh, you are too young. Oh, you are this. At 46 and a half, people said I was young. And I was too young. At 60 something to 70, people said Abdullahi Adamu is too old. Whatever you do, people will always talk.
There are certain qualities you need in a president. Governor Yesom Wike is one man that is impervious to criticism. He is one man that is loose with his words, especially the use of new words and languages. A man that does not control his temper. And for a president, you need this courteous public personnel that will serve as a coat of armor, protecting your anger in public. He is not that kind of person.
The Governor Wike has a lot of things to bring on the table because he's a man that is properly informed, taken from his political lineage. Talk about as a chief of staff, as a local government chairman, minister, and now governor for terms. He understands the problems of Nigerian people. He understands that we have a lot of policies and laws in this time. Our problem is the implementation, and he's ready to offer that.
So I wasn't surprised because up to today, the government has not been able to succeed in exterminating the group that has been unleashing mayhem within Kaduna and Niger State. Don't fail to, you can recall that this was the same group that launched attacks and killed and kidnapped students of Greenfield University. They also kidnapped the student of Federal College of Forestry. They also kidnapped the Bethel Baptist School in Kaduna. So they have been operating, and up to today, there has never been any action in terms of taking the war to the camps of the terrorists.
Every political party do have their own strategy through which they want to win elections.
So for you, it's all about winning elections, not helping Nigeria.
Of course, if they come to us for advice, we will offer the advice.
You want to open a controversial link bridge, one of the 3 points of exploitation. This is how the majority of the people see it. And you just started 2 or 3 weeks to the time, in fact, a day too. You now say, I'm giving a period of grace. You have taken decision. So you now want to panel beat the people onto that particular decision. It is very, very wrong.
What we are having in our hands is Lagos state government expropriating its own citizens. Now, where do our taxes go? According to the statistics of Lagos state government, Lagos State government generates the highest IGR in Nigeria, more than 11 states of the federation, around 3.1 trillion. Now, apart from that, is that Lagos State government's IGR and in entirety its GDP is more than 5 West African countries, neighboring countries.
If you want us to go the route of counting the years of the military, those are barbaric years. Those are years we don't even want anybody to remind us. We're actually, leaving all that behind us. Nobody within the military rank will tell you that they actually came together, sat down, and consulted with anybody before plotting or staging any coup. These are people who came to power using all manner of brute and all manner of force.